Alrighty, welcome back to the Sonic Adventure commentary with me, Skully the Metalhead. Today we tackle Amy's story and, well, we're in for some decent stuff. Just so long as she never flashes her panties at me again. It's gonna be fun on the bunk, kids.
Bored. Every day's the same old thing. Same place, different day. I miss the good old days. Hanging out with my hero, Sonic. Chasing bad guys. And blowing them away. But now he's gone. And there's nothing left to do. But shop till I drop. There was always something fun to do with Sonic around. I really miss him. Hey, what's going on here? Is there an eclipse today or what? Nobody forecast a storm or anything. Eggman, can it be? What's that? Ah! Watch it! Watch it! Ow! You should watch where you're going, buddy! Hey, are you alright? You look kind of hurt. What's this? Uh-oh! Yikes! You almost ran me over, creep! Oh no! Let's get out of here! That was one of Eggman's robots, huh? He must have captured you, and somehow you got away, right? Don't worry, I'll protect you. I'll do my best to keep us both from harm. I'll stand by you all the way.
So that's Amy's story. We have to protect a little bird who's being hunted down by E100 Alpha, which is... I want to say the first of the E-series robots. Again, the game never explicitly states this, but Zero, I believe, he was either the prototype or the very first model that was created that precedes E101 Beta. But it's quite weird, which again does make sense in terms of, Greek lettering, but at the same time though, Zero was practically never mentioned by Dr. Eggman. He's pretty much just there, which, I don't know, it's weird. Also, fun fact, well, not really a fun fact, since I'm pretty sure most hardcore Sonic Adventure nuts will already know this, but a lot of the assets that were used in Amy's flashback to Sonic CD, which doesn't really make sense because they were using the modern designs, but whatever. That was actually using a lot of beta elements from the Windy Valley, which was seen in some trailers for Sonic Adventure back when it was being announced for the Dreamcast. And, yeah, again, you probably would have seen a lot of this restored in a lot of Sonic Adventure DX mods, but, again, pretty decent bit of development history. And from what I've seen of some of the restored levels, or at the very least, based on what we had to go on, looks decent, I guess. But I don't know. You reuse assets where you can, I guess. In any case, Amy's gameplay is a little bit, well, obviously it's a little bit different as you can see. For one thing, she doesn't spin dash, she doesn't have a rolling jump, or a homing attack or anything, she doesn't beat people up. Well, she can beat people up. I wouldn't want to face somebody with a hammer, because it's scary and I could break your legs. Again, Amy is very limited in mobility, but again, well, not necessarily to the same extent that Big is, but I'll cover it a little bit later. It's time for a cutscene.
Oh, Sonic! my hero, Sonic! Long time no see!
Amy!
What's your problem? See, this little birdie's got in trouble. I think you should be his bodyguard a little while.
What?
Doesn't matter. We'll just tag along.
No way!
Come on, don't run away! Oh!
Yeah, it's very weird how Amy acts in this game now that I think about it. Like, I mean, the Sonic obsession is there, but it's so downplayed in this one. It's quite surreal, actually. I don't think it necessarily got that bad, or at least until the mid-2000s anyway, where it started to become sort of parody, but I don't know, it's just so weird to see how the adventure cast was written compared to what would come later. Because, like, I mean, Amy's Sonic obsession is present, but it's just kind of downplayed and doesn't exactly just dip into one-dimensional territory, really. I'm sorry I'm pausing so much, I'm having a lot of trouble collecting my thoughts. I'm a little bit tired in the middle of the day, because insomnia is one hell of a bitch. But in any case, so I think Amy probably has the shortest amount of levels. Either she has the shortest amount of levels, or it's around about the same length as Big's, which I think Big only had like 4. I think Amy has 3, so hers should be shorter. But again, I'm splitting these up just for convenience's sake, really. Well, add that in the file size, getting a little bit too large, which is always a problem. By the way, this character right here is Mr. Know-It-All. He's pretty much the precursor to the Omochao, except tolerable. Why couldn't we have that little anime schoolboy throughout the rest of the Sonic series? He wouldn't have been nearly as hated as Omochao, I guess.
Wait up, Sonic! Not fair! I can't run as fast as you! Ah, look! Eggman's robot's on the loose!
Don't panic! I'll handle that bag of bolts!
Ah!
Now what's wrong? Huh?
Look! It says cute couples can get in free! What are we waiting for?
Amy! Wait! I give up. She's so weird.
Ugh, God, my eyes are fucking burning. But yeah, I would like to point out, as while I suffer from eye pain, is that there was a really fantastic bit of use of the campfire effect that was done a little bit earlier. Because if you remember in Sonic's story when Amy was like, Twinkle Park, let's go in, cute couple. And then Sonic was like, ugh, she's such a pain. Whereas in Amy's story, she interprets it as, oh man, she's so weird. Which is, again, a fantastic use because, again, it doesn't exaggerate, you know, qualities towards a cartoonish degree, but it does so in a lot less of a harsh sense, because again, Sonic says, oh man, this is such a pain in the ass, whereas Amy's like, oh man, that's so weird. I guess you could call it soft language, but it's a very interesting detail to note, and something that I think Sonic Adventure pulled off spectacularly. But in any case, in Amy's story, well, in terms of mission structure, really, your mission is essentially to run away from Zero. Like, I mean, you won't be exploring or anything like Knuckles is. What would be the best way to describe it? A lot of people have actually kind of described it as a similar scenario to Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, where, you know, you're running away from the Nemesis, although Zero is pretty much on a constant chase. Like, I mean, you will have the occasional section where you can go off and do some, you know, general gameplay stuff, but for the most part, Zero was very persistent, and he will not relent until you are destroyed, or at the very least until he catches you. Also, I have to say, this area is so unnecessarily eerie. And I mostly say that in terms of the music, because the mirror room, I have no idea why, but I kind of wish, I don't know, this was expanded a little bit more. Like, I don't know, we could have roamed through a creepy doll's house, and, you know, we could have had some horror shenanigans. That's an interesting tangent. I wonder if Sonic could ever cross into the horror genre. Which again, I guess, I'm not talking specifically fan games here or anything, so, you know, no Sonic.exe, I suppose, to some degree... Actually, no, I can't really think of another example. I don't know, I think Sonic could do it. Like, I mean, the series does have plenty of creepy elements to it. Most especially with the ghosts, actually, from Sonic Adventure 2. And how they were featured in Sonic X to pretty great effect, actually. That episode was... yeah, it was decently chilling, I suppose. Then again, I suppose that's mostly referring to the moment when Amy was possessed by the ghost and suffered nightmares, I'll say that much. I am very incoherent, which is sucky, because I was perfectly reasonable to hear during Big Story, and now it's just pausing on the occasion and not really saying anything of value, which makes me sad.
I'm free!
Yeah, you go, Grill.
Sonic must have gotten lost too! Ah! Hey, watch it, Bolt Brain! Let us down! Let us go! Now, calm down. What do you want?
Hand me the bird.
Nope.
Quietly hand over the bird.
No, never.
Why not?
I don't need to tell you anything. You tell me why you want it, now!
Does not compute.
You don't even know? I know you might hurt us both. Please, Mr. Robot. Won't you help us, please?
Insufficient data. You have feelings for something you know nothing about. Illogical.
I pity you. Love is not part of your programming. You are missing something good. Hey, Birdie, come back here!
Go! Escape!
Well, what? You sure?
It's dangerous here. Hurry, we'll be at the Mystic Ruins base soon.
You're really nice. You're different from the other robots. You've got a soft spot inside your metal frame. If you want, we can be friends, okay?
really do miss Amy having scenes like this. Like, I mean, you don't really... A lot of people tend to misconstrue Amy as just being nothing more than a fangirl and nothing but again, like in Sonic Adventure, and I'd say pretty much throughout most of the Dreamcast and I guess even the middle PS2 era, or whatever, you know, Amy was generally seen to be the soul of the group. And again, something that was very prevalent throughout her writing is that she just tended to appeal to that emotional side of characters which really left an impact, you know, like, you know, I'm not just specifically talking about, you know, the whole shadow scene at the end of Sonic Adventure 2, or even this really, it's just something I found that made Amy unique compared to Sonic and Knuckles, because, like, I mean, a lot of people like to think about strong characters in the sense that, oh, they can do pretty much anything, anywhen, they're powerful, they can kick ass and anything, but again, that's not what makes a character strong, it's their resolve, you know, their kindness, just generally what they value, really. And I suppose also, in turn, their willingness to fulfill their goals and their unwavering resolve, which, again, like, I mean, I'm not a writer by any means, so I'm probably talking about my ass about the intricacies of character writing, but again, that's what, at the very least in Sonic Adventure, anyway, it's what made Amy such a strong character, and it's something that I do want to point out towards the end of Amy's story, but, you know, the fact that she's willing to help out a bird right here, a creature that she barely even knows, as even Gamma pointed out, it's... God, it just kind of speaks volumes about Amy's character, and, like, I mean, you could say that she gets annoying with her whole Sonic obsession, but, you know, there is something to be said about that, which I will cover later, but... honestly, it's just that sense of kindness that really does speak volumes about Amy's character, and it's not something that ruins it for me, you know? And, like, I mean, Amy doesn't even need to, like, have a degree in martial arts, or, you know, be as fast and spin dash like Sonic or anything. It's something that she does in her own way, and even despite people calling this gameplay style clunky and one of the worst in the game, you know, that's not the point, man. At the very least from a story perspective. If I was to talk about the gameplay for a second, well, there are a amount of cutscenes coming up quite soon. Actually, no, I think that we are going to the hot shelter next, so I'll have a perfect opportunity to talk about it there. In the meantime, anyway, before I wander off on any other different tangents, it's time to get the Warrior Feather! Yeah, this is Amy's mandatory upgrade, and you can actually come back here later to get your secondary upgrade, which is the... I can't quite remember... No, the Long Hammer, which is basically something that gives you a larger distance and a... well, your hammer actually sounds powerful. Whereas currently her Pico Pico hammer just sounds like a bink! Yeah, this upgrade is still pretty useless though. And that's mostly because it doesn't really have the range to hit enemies that well, and plus it leaves Amy drunk for a few seconds.
Transformers.
Yeah, sorry about that edit there. I was going to have a delicious meal, but now we tackle our next level, the Hot Shelter. And now we come to the Hot Shelter, which we covered in Big's portion as well. This time I think we actually will get to see a more expanded version of it, which... actually, I think, no... it's hard to tell which is the most expansive version of the Hot Shelter. I think... I want to say Gamma's might be, but that might only be because of the train segment in his level. Excuse me, my nose is a bit stuffed up. I'm not sick, as you probably could tell from my commentary over Tales the Story. God, excuse me. Anyway, in terms of Amy's levels, I'd say this one's probably one of my favourites in her level. And, yeah, has a bit of a trade-off. Amy has the slowest ladder climbing speed, which makes getting stuck down there a bit of a pain in the ass, but if you can time your hammer jumps right, you can make it quite easily, which, now that I can segue into it, Amy's gameplay. Yeah, excuse me. I already talked about how her mission structure is to run away from Zero, but in terms of her basic things, she can smack things with her hammer. You know, she can use that Warrior Feather attack, which is useless, and I don't recommend you use it. And, excuse me. Well, she basically just moves like a general person would, really. She doesn't have a very high jump. No spin dash or anything else, so... again, you know, while Amy might be very limited in terms of what she can do, it does emphasize the, and again, I use in quotations here, the survival horror aspect of the gameplay, which is basically just to run away from Zero, because there is nothing you can do for him. You can knock him back a little bit, but you can't do anything to him in terms of attacks. Like, I mean, you can knock him back. Although and again, I can't remember where I heard this, but excuse me, my mouth is a bit fucked up right now. But I do believe that no, not Big. I do believe that E100 Alpha will grow a resilience to Amy's attacks, in that, you know, if you try and knock him back, it won't work anymore, so he'll just persist. And, yeah, that's generally how these levels operate. They operate on very simple logics, and I'm probably just stumbling over it and making it sound a little bit more complex than it really is, but yeah, just don't get caught in his crosshairs, don't get killed by E100 Alpha, and you're pretty much good to go. I suppose there probably also comes the point of... fuck, I forgot what I was gonna say, damn. But yeah, I mean, I really like, seeing the egg carrier like this. Also my favourite, theme song in this... Well, my favourite invincibility theme, anyway. But yeah, I suppose this also acts as a bit of a way of exploring the egg carrier, which, you know, even during the gameplay sequence, you know, you can see bathrooms, you can see a bunch of different areas of the ship, and the best part about it, and something I very much love about how, you know, Sonic & Knuckles, Sonic Adventure, Adventure 2 and everything designed their levels, is that it wasn't done in a very abstract way, like it would have been in, you know, Sonic 1 and Sonic 2. And it's a sort of aesthetic design which I feel... Well, I mean, it's a sort of aesthetic design I tend to prefer in Sonic games, which they don't really seem to use that much. Like, I mean, you can see, like, I mean, there are background elements and, you know, background areas because, you know, graphical limitations and everything. But at the same time, though, a lot of areas feel very solid, you know, like they're part of an actual world. And whereas games like Sonic Lost World and, you know, I guess to use another example would possibly be Colors and Forces to some degree, a lot of the locations in those games didn't feel particularly solid because it just felt... It felt more like a video game level, to put it bluntly. You know, whereas you take a look at the levels here and... You know, you could honestly believe that this is a functional area of the ship that, you know, works outside of the context of being a video game level. And it's something about... It's just something that makes Sonic Adventure's world feel a little bit more cohesive. Well, okay, not all areas generally, but, you know, in a very general sense, like, I mean, you could imagine Eggman having an area like this in a ship. Also, very light puzzle elements, in quotation marks here. Also, very much reminds me of Gex 3D Enter the Gecko, another commentary that you should probably watch, because, I did it, and shameless blogging. Let's see what's on TV. Oh, the Zero channel. I didn't like that. What? I don't know. I love that moment. By the way, take a look at Amy here. Oh no, the physics don't work very well because Amy goes fast when she's on an incline. Worst game ever, 0 out of 10. It's about the physics, bro. I've never gotten those. Whatever. Don't want to open that can of worms because it will make me sad. And again, I suppose a lot of detractors of Amy's levels would also say that the levels themselves are very much dull and lacking in set pieces. But at the same time, though, by that own volition, you could say that it is the most involved part of the game. Like, I mean, outside of the occasional spring to give you a push, it is very much up to the player, so a lot of people complaining that Sonic games are automatic would probably lose out here, because this is very much up to you, the player, to do everything. I mean, you're not going to go through scripted loops or anything, or any of that garbage that people complain about. So, you know, it is very solid gameplay, but it's just not one that people enjoy very much just for being limited. And to be perfectly honest though, like, I mean, it's a reasonable attempt. Like, trying to give Amy her own unique gameplay style. 06 tried to bring it back, but again, I think we all know what happened there. And I suppose, before we close off this part, would I like to see this sort of gameplay return? Yeah, I'd like to see it. Like, I mean, obviously I don't think Sonic Team would ever do that sort of thing again, especially with something as radical as Amy's gameplay, but, you know, if it ever came down to it, I'd be happy to see it return. Just so long as I refined some of the gameplay mechanics. But, what gameplay mechanics am I talking about? Well, you'll just have to see this in the next part of the Sonic Adventure commentary. Take care, kids. Catch you later.